Big umbrellas. Who needs that? Huge reverse mount deep parabolic soft boxes. But why? The sun? No, not today. Today we're going even broader with the most flexible modifier ever. And it's pretty cheap. Stay tuned. What's up guys, YvensB here, Montreal advertising and portrait photographer. So lighting large or in a broad manner or many things at once is often super expensive and complicated. It can require even modifiers that can add up to the cost of a small car, like a really tiny one. Kinda tiny. No joke though, the reverse mount softbox from Broncolor will cost you a whopping $7,189 USD, or over here in Canada, $2.5 million and a kidney. Thank you very much. So unless you're balling out of control, and if so, please find my affiliate links below in the description, and also with my PayPal address so you can send me as much as you want to. Thank you. We have to find ways to create an extremely large source of light on the cheap. Now this video is not really a debate as to why you should use large or small source of lights. It's really required for some, and I'm just exploring a method on how to get this done in a flexible manner. Now a small disclosure before moving on. The V-Flat I will be using here was sent to me by V-Flat World for free for feedback and comments. I did not get paid to use these V-Flats and to do this video or anything else, and V-Flat World did not get a chance to review this video before it was published. They're just pretty awesome people and it's a really good product, and I just wanted to showcase here for people that might need it. That's it. And now the interesting part, the setup. So the setup in this case is really interesting and simple and doesn't require much. In the first video of this series, because we'll do a couple of them, we'll create a super large source of light. So let's run down the items that you need to get this done. First, you need a V-Flat, of course. V-Flats are pretty simple as they are basically a two-color panel if you consider black or white a color. There's one black side and the other one is white. There are DIY methods to get your own V-Flat if you don't want to spend that much money, but creating a foldable V-Flat like the one I'm currently using is actually kind of complicated, and I would not recommend it unless you're very practical. For this video, we'll focus on white. The second item you need is actually a strobe or a flash of any kind. The more powerful, actually the better. In this video, I'm using the 8600 BM, which is a 3 or 4-year-old flash, I believe, that you can get for $339 at the moment for Black Friday. It's a pretty powerful and flexible strobe, which I strongly recommend. And also I'm using a standard reflector here to focus the light a little better to avoid having light spilling all over. And now let's run through the steps. The first step is to open your V-Flat in a V-shaped manner. The wider the V that you create, the larger the light that you created will be. So basically, the wider, the more broad it would be. After you place your V-Flat, simply point your strobe towards the white panels, and this will be basic setup. I always recommend taking a measurement of the light that you're producing by either using something like the Lumu Power, which I reviewed here, or using something like a Sekonic to get this done. And now let's get to shooting. Now let's look at some results. For reference here, the model that you're seeing here, Annabelle, is about 5'10", with heels about 6'1" or 2. You can observe that with her entire body is lit by the modifier we just created, and the light is quite large. All the shots shown here are straight out of the camera, which means no modification was done except for the white balance being adjusted. And now let's get a little closer and look at the highlights on the skin. And another note, the subject is not wearing any makeup at the moment since this was shot for her casting for an agency. And for those who are really observant, even the white sackcloth behind her was actually lit by the modifier, and pretty evenly too, so it's pretty great. And that wraps it up for the behind the scenes. Now let's be honest, there are other solutions to create such lights, such as shooting directly on the white wall. But not everyone, example like me, has the luxury of having white walls all around them. For example, at my studio, the walls are all occupied by some objects, or they're just not available because we have windows everywhere, which is not really great. If you need to get a V-Flat, I left a link in the description below so you can take a look and see if it fits your budget. They run for about $195 on regular pricing, but they're seriously one of the most practical tools out there in a studio. Also, a big side note, they might be expensive as a perception because they're $195, but sincerely, they're one of the most practical tools out there in a studio. They actually saved me from a lot of situations where I could have not liked the results that I got because they wouldn't be present. An example, I had something casting a green light once, and I just decided to put a V-Flat, and that was the end of the story. So that's something that you can keep in mind that will really help you in the future. And also the big advantage of those V-Flats is they're quite easy to carry on location. So if you need a white background, you can just bring it with you, prop it up, and then you're done. But we'll explore the subject in future videos that I'm planning to release in the next few weeks. So if you want to watch those, please make sure to subscribe. So that is it for part 1. In part 2, we'll see how a V-flat can have some interesting effect on your studio setup and your background. So again, if you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe to watch it. And if you enjoyed this video and wish to support this channel, please make sure to like this video by tapping the thumbs up button, so located somewhere around here I believe, or purchasing anything from those links below. This helps me fund this channel and create more tutorials and tests for you guys. As always, this has been YvensB, Montreal advertising and portrait photographer, and I'll wish you good luck and happy shooting. And let's light this world. Cheers.